Hello, hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. Today we're working on a few journal cards and tags in mixed media form. I saw Zoe Scarpelli doing them on Instagram. I love to watch her reels. So I have my version of them. You have to use what you've got on hand, in other words. So I'm going to show how I did them, and I think they're really fun and interesting, and you just might like them too. So here's our sneaky peek of the day. I'm trying to remember who I saw this from, or if maybe I just did. I could have been a scrapbooking with me idea, but you just rip these two corner pieces and put them over a base, and then you can add some lace if you want to, but it's an up tuck, and it's basically two pockets. I thought that was a very cute idea. Let's see what I've got next. Oh, it's actually a pocket. Look at that. It's a pocket as well. I didn't put anything very big in it, but you know. It is what it is. Mom could have filled it with something if she wanted. I think that's why I had that tiny piece in there. So I'll show you this piece. Oh my gosh, she went and really wrote on this day. This is the other end of that coffee filter we were looking at the beginning. So I did a little sewing around the outside of that. Tucked that in there. She's got a few other goodies, which are little taggy kind of things with words about gardening and growing and such is in there. And there's that other end of the page where Gail Augustinelli does them, where you rip and you'll cover your page. You do it on this side and then you fold it over. And then you'll do your bottoms. That's how she usually does it. She does them all the way around. She does the very center. So it's more like a frame. And I really like those because they used up a lot of scraps. Okay. These are the papers we're starting with. I'm not going to show you a before because they're sitting over here ready to be finished together with us working on them. Now, I decided to do a few journal cards as well with these blanks that Tommy gave me. Now, Zoe did them. She did two colors of brown on the base in the distress paint. And then she did two colors on the top coat as well. And I guess you would call this a resist technique. So I come up with using blues because that's about all I had. I've got a brushed pewter here and a speckled egg. And what we're going to do is just kind of do a few dots around here and just see if we can get this spread out. And if we got enough on there. I love this speckled egg. It's so pretty. And this is just basically what I did. And they'll blend together basically. But this is going to be the coat that is seen through the resist part. And it curls too because the paint seems to be a little on the wetter side. But this layer here is what will shine through the resist. So she went with a pretty brown. I love the browns. I got to get some more browns. I don't have any. I think I had that antique linen, and that's about as close to a brown as I had. Now I think this is about as layered as you need to really get, since it's just a bottom layer. Maybe we'll just dribble a little bit on every one of these and have that all done. So anyhow, you're able to do what you can do with what you got. So don't go out and buy anything. I know you don't have this paint. You might be able to do it with a regular acrylic paint. I don't know. I didn't try it with that. And the option of using these paints are that they dry really fast, or Actually, they're very permanent. I don't know that they dry faster than a regular paint. I was waiting for a while after I got mine done. Um, so, there we go. And then we're going to do this one. Get it covered. And then we'll clean up shop here. And I'll do a little heat gun to these before I get back with you and have them dry. So we can do the next layer. Okay, our next layer is the resist part. And it's going to be made with these botanic collage pieces. And I've picked this beautiful piece here to go. It's a very tall piece, so it fits exactly on there just right. So that's what we're going to do. We have to go on here with some, it is the watermark stamp pad. So you're going to be doing the embossing with a clear glaze on here to get this to go down. All right. Going to do it right here on the left side. I'm going to just make every one of these the same. Exactly the same. Okay. I'm always doing my compressions. Okay, the next part, I saw Celeste from Woodland Inspired using a paper plate when she did her embossing. And I really love that idea. And it seems to contain this crazy powder a lot better than my old version. Okay, we're going to take this one. And before this stamp pad juiciness goes away from us, we're going to get on here and we're going to do this. Yeah, you can't wait too long. 5 minutes is probably too long between stamping and then getting your powder on there. Okay, so basically this is what it's going to be. I think I need a little bit more up here. Oh yeah. Just run some powder over it a couple times. And then I tap it and get the excess off. And now what we're going to do is we're going to heat emboss it. Reach over here and get my gun. So, you're not going to see much because it's clear, but you'll get the idea. There she goes. It's not as a refined look to see a lot of detail, but you can still read some of the words. I think she's done. What I did is I got that ultra thick clear embossing powder, and I didn't realize that's what it was. It comes out almost like the salt, like the really chunky salt that you can get. So I got a coffee grinder that I wasn't using. I don't drink coffee, and I think I got it for herbs. I can't even remember why I bought it. So I ground it up in there. It worked good. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do this on each one of these last two, and the heat embossing as well, and I'll get back to you after I get done. Okay, now we've got them all covered with our clear embossed stamp. You can kind of see it glittering there a little bit. Okay, so now what we're going to do is go in with these three colors. We're going to do Salvage Patina, Antique Bronze, Metallic, and a little bit of black soot on maybe one or two of them. I'm going to go in at the end with him because he is a bold color. I did one like that on the taggy ones that I've got up here we're going to finish together. And I thought, well, I don't really like that. But, you know, that's the one that the butterfly or the stamp image really came out on. It really looked good on that one. So I'm going to definitely do that. Now, you would think this this metallic doesn't go good with this Salvage Patina, but it really has a pretty color combination at the end. And I got a little bit off the page there, but that's all right. You definitely want to clean your surface as soon as you get done with this paint, because it does dry permanent. So you want to have that done. Now see, the salvaged patina, you want to do it in a spot and then mix in with the gold or bronze, whatever I've got here. Because the bronze will turn it into sort of a muddy shade. Not exactly muddy, but close enough. I think I got a little bit extra paint on here. Oh well. That's alright. Now I want to dibby-dabby it around. If you think you didn't have enough salvage patina on here, you can add more. I do think I got a lot of gold. So what will we do? We're going to save it. We're going to go ahead and get us this piece here and wipe up some of this bronze that we think is going to overpower our pretty salvaged patina, and put it on this card. Yeah, I got a little heavy-handed. See, I got a little bit of messy right there. So let's get this out of the way. I did back my other ones, so they get backed, so you don't have to worry too much about what the back side of these are going to look like. Plus, they're not that strong. They're kind of a flimsy card. All right, let's see about... Got something from the trash can there. But let's paint that up real quick and get that out of the way. And I can use that as a base for something else. I love watching some of these girls create stuff, and it gives me ideas, and I want to try it. I want to see if it'll work for me, if it's a skill I can get and acquire to use in the future, that kind of thing. All right, I'm going to set this to the side, and it can do its own thing. Now, what we're going to do is get back in here, get a hold of our teal, or salvage patina, excuse me, and we're going to put that down. Now, see, if you didn't do a very thick first layer, don't worry about it, because this will cover up any other spots that you may have missed along the way. And when you get the salvaged patina to really stand out in certain spots, that's good. But if you don't, you can always go back in. And usually what I do is I'll try to start with it first. So let's get that down first. I need to get onto another one of these with the black as well. So let me finish this out. Okay. I always try to make sure I got my corners or my ends done, but if not, don't worry, because you can always ink that at the end. Now, this black is always so runny. I don't understand why, but it is. So since this one doesn't have that much salvaged patina, maybe we'll just do one drop. We're going to go in here on this one and see what we can do with this black. I don't know why, but it is, look, that was about all I needed. But it is extra runny. I don't know why. He said that on one of his videos, that the way it's made up, it is. Oh, that is extra dark. Let's see if we can put a little bit over here, just for contrast. What I usually do, or what I'm going to be doing on this one over here, is using some of the paper dolls. And I've went in and used them and put a few little pieces of ephemera around them. And we're going to have fun decorating those. Alright, so I'm going to put a little bit more salvage patina on here and see how she goes. I don't really have it at all on here, do I? Let's get that one out of the way. He's done. Alright, so I'm going to just dibby-dabby it kind of like that. And see if a little bit will stay behind. Alright, that's good enough. All right, I got to clean up my surface, got to clean up my brush, and we'll be right back. Okay, I hit them with the heat gun. So now we're going to go in here and see what we can do with doing the resist part of it. Now she took, I think, a wet paper towel and she heated them, or she dried them just to the verge of them being able to be touched. And I think she went over them like this. Now, when I did it before with tags up here, I think I might have a little bit too wet of a cloth. But I never got that great an effect. See, I can't really get it to lift off. I mean, she's doing a reel, so you can't hear her talking. So I'll tell you what I did to correct this. I got a paper towel, a new one. And what I did is I used fingernail polish remover. Now, that did the trick, I'll tell you that. Because all I had to do is do me a little dibby dab right there. Then I went in and I kind of buffed over the top. Oh yeah, see it's coming now. See that's the light blue coming in from the back. Let me get this one out of the way. But yeah, that's what I had to do. And you're just doing the surface of your heat embossed image. You're not doing the whole cover of the card. Let's see, this is going to pull. And you got to go back in there. Because fingernail polish remover, it dries up quick. Oh, now if you get a little bit on the sides, don't worry. It's not the end of the world. This is a layering effect. You're using different things to layer. Just get a different background. That's all we're doing. You know, I'm forcing myself to actually cover some of these that I had on the cards because I loved it so much, the way it turned out. All right, I think that turned out pretty good. If you have a card that might have, or a stamp, I mean, that might have a larger image, a bolder image, you're going to get a much different effect. So it just depends on what you use. Now let's see how this baby works out. See, I'm actually, am I too heavy-handed? Some of that black's actually coming off of the top layer. I don't know that I wanted that. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. I'm not seeing blue. I think that black is just too overwhelming or something. There we go. I'm seeing some blue now. I'm mixing it too much, so it's like there. Yeah, I got to read up more on this and see how they did it. I think it still might be a little wet. That may be the other issue. And I'm not helping it any the way I'm doing it. Oh, there we go. The only problem is I wipe one way and I make it so wet that the black will stick. Oh. Okay. Okay. We're getting there. I thought this would be the one that would have the most resist. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay. There we go. I'm getting a better image there. A little bit maybe down here. Yeah, it didn't turn out too bad. Actually, it's not as dark as that other one I did. I can't figure out why my flower up there in that middle is not coming out like I want it to. Maybe that's as good as it's going to get. Okay, let's get moving on. Moving on. I get a much better image on these lighter ones. At least I feel that way. You will get a lot of paint coming off, so watch out for that. Just keep moving your wet part of your little towel around. Maybe the trick is to do the dibby-dabby. Let's try that. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. When I streak it like that, I'm streaking the top coat color over it. So maybe I'm doing it wrong. Yeah, always experiment. Never be afraid to try this, to try that. Okay, I think that one turned out pretty good. Got a spot right there in the center that does not want to let up any of its color. But yeah, it did on that one. I don't know why that one's not really showing like the others. Okay. All right, we're done with that step. It wasn't too painful. And our next step, and you can see that paint dried on my board here before I had a chance to clean it off. It dries fast. And I don't know if you can see this one. When you use this paint here, the metallics, it will bubble. When you hit it with a heat gun, it will bubble and give you like a texture. So that's what happened there, because that was mostly the metallic paint. So that's another kind of a neat effect. All right, our next thing we're going to do, I got this at Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to use this one on here. And I like the idea of script being, you know, all over this. The stamp itself had script, like a newspaper page. And then I thought I'd do a little stamping with this one. And then we're going to hit it with, what do you call it? I'll remember it in 20 seconds here. I hit it with a texture paste. Okay. I don't think I used I think I just went down like that. Okay, what did I use? We're just going to go ahead and use this. We're not doing anything wet on this background. It curls up anyway, ghastly. But this has something about affection on here. And I'm trying to make sure I got the top part. But I'm going to mostly come in from the left side. So that's what we're going to do. Going to mostly ink up that left side. And we're just going to kind of put it down there. And when you don't put it on a pad, or I mean a block, you can bend it better, or in a more natural way. I'm not getting much on there. What did I use before? Let me go over here and snoop and see what I used before. Oh, I used this. This is an Anna Griffin color block pigment stamp. It's real juicy. It's called Espresso. This is one of the first things I got in 2020. I think I got it in the fall. And boy, I think it does hold a lot of pigment. Now watch how deep it'll go down now. Yeah, that Distress ink wasn't making a dent. Yeah, baby, look at that. So if you need a nice full coverage, I got some kind of little something right there. I don't want it to be there. Yeah, but if you want some full coverage, get pigment. And we're just going to do this. And do us a little bit right down here. Just a little bit. And if you want to have it all around, you do a little bit on this side as well. Just so it's a little bit here, a little bit there. There we go. And I'm going to do each one like that. See how this black one turns out. Yee howdy. Oh yeah. And see, it's like almost like the writing from here is extended. That's what I kind of liked about that. It looked like it was just going all the way out. And then we're going to do this over here. And of course, your fingers are going to get covered. Of course. And then we're going to go over here with it. Ooh, I smeared that one. That's okay. That's okay. We just playing. All right. And try not to wiggle. I think that's what I'm doing. I'm wiggling a wee bit. I'll get that for over here. And you never know if this is actually going to be seen, all of it. Some of it may cut, and I squished too hard on that one. But some of this may get covered up. All right, so that little guy needs to be clean, so I'll set him there. I'm going to go clean up my fingers and my stamps. I'll be back. Okay, our next step is our texture paste translucent. And I bought a new one, and this one was like 2/3 empty. So I went and took my vintage photo re-inker, and I put it in here, and I tainted it. I think I only used like 1 drop maybe. But we're going to use this script stamp from Tim Holtz, and we're going to put that over top of what we already got on here. We're going to put script on script on script. And then you just want to be kind of, you want to try to avoid your image, but you know, you don't have to. And then you just smear it kind of like all around. Let's see if we need any on this other side. See how cool that looks? I'm going to put a little bit down here in this corner. Just a little bit. I have to smear it down like that first. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to kind of do that on every one of them. And you just set them aside to dry. But it's a real cool effect when you do layering kind of images like this. And we're just going to do the same. Oop, that one got a little clumpy. The same on each one. And you get a spatula. No, is this called a spatula? Palette knife. I don't know why I'm thinking spatula. But yeah, you get you a palette knife, and you just kind of go down through there like that. Each one's going to be a little different. You know, you don't want to ever have anything the same. All right. There we go. That darker one is the one that stood out the best on. And then when you get done, you want to go around your edges as well. You don't want those little sharp pieces drying on the edges. Oops, I got a little on the book that time. Oh well. Oh well. Yeah, I got enough to do that little patch down here. And there she goes. Now what you want to do is take this and drop it in some water right now. Okay, the next step is to go in here and put your little saran wrap down in there to get all the air out with whatever is left in your bottle. And then we're going to do that. They use that press and seal. I don't have any of that, so I'm using what I got. And then also, I don't see any on this one exactly. Maybe a little piece right there. Oh, there is along the bottom. But you want to clean your edges up before it dries. I had a big pokey piece out the top up here. We're going to get that. That one. Just so it's nice and clean. This one have any? I didn't get to the I didn't get to the edge on that one. Okay, we're going to set these aside. Wipe that little bit up I got on my knife because I got that nice and clean. My stencil is soaking. And we're going to get to the next part. This was just an old magazine. Maybe I can wipe that off. I'm probably going to use this for glue pages, where I'm going to just go in and cover the page. Ooh. And cover them with my scraps and get rid of those. All right. Now here is what I did the other day. So we're going to look at each one. And then I'm going to show you what I picked out to decorate them with. Each one's different. I used actually different stencils on these. I did use the script stamp on some. Am I off screen yet? I've got these little guys here. The Curator Ephemera Pack. The snippets. I really love those little guys. So I'm going to be using maybe a few of those in here. Some of these are taller than others because I just used a mixed media page over there to do it. We're going to take that out of there and we're going to get to work. What we got? Okay, we got this lady or girl. She's going to school. I've got a clock for her. I've got like an arithmetic, whatever, for her to stand on. And then the book is going to be over here under her arms. And I think the book was a little too long or big. I think I'll trim off this edge because I needed it to stick out so you could read it. Now, I don't really have anything inked, so we're just going to throw some on the edges here just so nothing stands out. And to age it a little bit too, so it will go with our theme. And of course I had to have a clock. I remember watching that clock really really well. Okay, we're going to put a little ink on that. Ink, a little bit of glue. Now you can see how this one turned out. This was this the brick, and I had the light blue in the background, and you can see a lot of teal on this one. So it just depends. You don't really ever know exactly what you're going to get. Now this little girl is going to be leaning on this book. So we're going to ink, or Rhoda, going to glue the edge of that book right under her arm so you can read it. And she's got, oh yeah, her fingers are grasping the edge. I like that. I like that. And she's going to be standing on this arithmetic project. Right there. Put that down. And we're going to have this down at the very base. Not all the way down, but close enough. As Carrie the Crafter always says, you want to base these people down on something so they're not floating. Now I'm not going to worry about inking or anything around her. A few of the little ephemera pieces I put on here, I'm going to age just a little bit, or I'm going to cut that white off the edge. But that's about all I'm going to do. I'm not going to do any more inking other than that. I did ink the cards. As you can see, I inked the edge with my ground espresso. So that's already been done. I'm going to stick her right here. And she's going to be standing on her arithmetic problem. I said project earlier, didn't I? Problem. And on the back of these, I just kind of went in and glued another paper to them. Like that was some more Tim Holtz paper. And I actually did put them under my cutting board that I was using earlier, just to flatten them out. And anytime you put wet media on things like this, you might want to do that. So once we get done, that's what I'm going to be doing. Putting them on under that thing again. Now, here's a couple that I thought looked like they were going off to travel the world. It's on their honeymoon, or however you want to think of it. So I picked out all of these little goodies here, and they're to go under them. I got everything poked out on all around the outside of them. This actually has Paris on it, so that worked out really well. And we got a postcard they might be sending back home. So I'm telling my story, you see. Okay. And Traveler, I'm not going to worry about. All right, so what we want to do is figure out, now, see how pretty that one turned out? You're saying, why are you covering that? Well, you know, it's just a background. Now, I'm going to put them over to the side just a little bit. I'm going to probably put this little guy right underneath of his back leg, Just enough for you to still see Paris. Kind of like that. I don't want to cover Paris up if I can help it. Yep, that did it. And then what we got next? And we want to make sure it's parallel. Oh, I think that was supposed to be what they were standing on. Maybe if I lift them up a little bit, I can put this. No, you can't see that shipment tag. Crap. Okay, I got to take that back off because this is what they're supposed to be standing on. Okay. Good thing I grabbed it in time, right? Now we're going to put that right down here. All right. All right, we're putting Traveler over there. That's what we'll put on his leg. Okay. And then we've got them standing there. And then I want... This one has something about shipment collect, so I thought it sounded like something about their luggage or something along those lines. Yeah, I like that right there. So, can I get it back out? And I like these brown tones because it brings out your background. Okay, so make sure I lift them up. Yeah, kind of like right there. Whoops, it's not straight, but we'll make it straight. And then this other little piece could be, yeah, it needs something up there in that corner. It's not connected to anything, but that's okay. It needs to have something. And we'll do it at a little bit of an angle, so it looks like it's flying through the air. And then just cover your back with some glue. Yeah, we had some snow here, and then we had a little bit more snow, and it was really cold, so we've been keeping the fire in the basement going. It has been going. So anyhow, it has been toasty warm, though. I mean, that's a good thing. It's a Mama Bear stove, and really does a good job. All the kitties like to lay around it and bask in the warmth. Little stinkers. Okay, so we got that. Sometimes you may have to come back in here and put a little bit more glue, like I see around his head, because he's right here where all of that heat embossing stand-up stuff is. So what we'll do is we'll put this weight on his head, or their head. Let's see if that'll hold them down a little bit until it sets. All right, these little kids are in school. Or no, they're not in school. They're going to the dentist. Because I have something about dentrifice or something on here. So they are going to 317 Main Street, where the dentist's office is. And he is going to fix some cavities. Because she got too much candy in her handbag. But she's going to hide it from him so he don't know. All right, right there is where we're going to put that. And I got the clock because that's where they're, supposed to be going to him at a certain time. I'm going to have to go down like that. That's fine. We don't need to see the... Maybe I'll put that right in the middle. Oh, that could work. Okay, let's try that. Put that a little bit on each side. Am I in screen? Okay. Let's see how that works. Okay. Oh, yeah, right there. Perfect. Perfect. As long as I'm straight, I'm good. Yep. All right, and this clock, I think, is going to go up right behind their head. Yeah. So, let me get that in before I glue them down. So, yeah, you got to think about your layering and what needs to go on first. You want to lay it out and audition everything. I know I'm covering up every bit of this this resist technique I did, but oh well. It is what it is. Oh, yep, it is what it is. I've been needing to use a product. Oh, I was surprised that one espresso from Anna Griffith even still works. It's like brand new almost. The other ones, though, did dry up on me. A good bit of them. And I don't know what happened there, but they did. So, you just never know, I guess. All right. There. I don't really think I'm going to need anything out of this little snippet pack. You know, I want some of these little things to speak for themselves. Now, I got these two little girls. You see them all the time. I want to make them fairies, so I got these transparent wings. I'm going to cut them in half. And one's going to get one, one's going to get the other. That's how we're going to play it. Now, I think this is supposed to be what they're standing on. And then I have this. They're going to a dance. That's why they have this ticket. And then they have a stamp. And I don't know why. The colors kind of went with this. Okay. So we're going to put a little dab of glue on the back side of this one. Put it down on her. Yeah, about right there. And the same on this one. Whoops. Yeah, about right there. Perfect. Okay. Now this is that pretty one. See how dark it is? And how that really stood out? And I made sure that was down low so you might see a lot of it. Because I could actually have them up here. They don't have to be on the lowest side. So that might be what we do. Yeah, let's do that. They could be standing on the butterfly. Look at that. Yeah, yeah. Okay, what about the rest of the goodies? This little goodie, I'm going to put on her left side against the edge of the page here. Let's see. Can't really tell what it is, but oh well. Gotta make sure I got it straight. Yeah, that's straight. And then the other thing I wanted to do was we gotta have our dance ticket. Maybe that can go up there. Oops. Let's move it out of the way a little bit because it's going to be about right here. And what else? We have a little stamp. Now, we might not need all of this because I actually could do like that. Yeah, okay, we'll do like that. Put it in there at an angle. And put our stamp on there. I thought that was a pretty stamp. It's got like maroon or something and green and all kinds of colors. All right. Now I got to get the girls down. And I need to do a little bit around the outside of the wings just so they'll stay down. Hopefully they're not around any of the heat embossing, but I mean texture paste. But I don't think I'm going to be that lucky. Okay. So they're going to be standing here on the butterfly. trying to get them straight. Okay. Got their wings. I'm using an art glitter glue bottle, but that is barely art's glue that's in it because that's my favorite. So I just like the nozzle. I like how skinny that little nozzle piece is. Okay, I guess we're gonna see if this one held down. Yep. And then we're gonna hold her down. Let's see if that'll stick. All right, to the bride-to-be. She's got her butterfly here. We need to ink around the outside so we dull that cream color. Okay. That's good. Now, if you see on the top of this one, I put that on the back, but I left the pieces that were from ripping it out of the art journal. I kind of wanted something interesting, so the last two pieces have that. Now, I looked and looked for something to put for her feet, and all I got is this received. So that's what she's getting. All right, all of that's inked up. Put our received down first. And I think the big card is going to the left of her. Okay. Put her back on here and figure out how I had that. I think that was to go over here or something. Just for some kind of a different look. That's about all it's going to be. It's not it's not meaning anything. Let's see, is that how I wanted it? Yeah, it just didn't have, it's got some wording there, but that's about it. You can still see a little bit of the wording. Maybe I move it down and you can see a little bit more. Yeah, you can see enough there. All right, now I've got florist because she's holding a bouquet of flowers. And I wasn't sure, maybe I'll just stick out way up there at the top. And then I got a little stamp. I'll stick that actually on here once I get her down. And then the butterfly could be up there with the florist. I hadn't been using any of these paper dolls lately, so I got to use those. Oh, all right, Zach and me, we've been working more and more on getting our cemetery book done, and boy, we were working yesterday, and then we got that other girl, Kathy, helping us out, and you know, you are never done. You're just never done because you're always finding more stuff. I mean, we had to straighten ourselves out on a couple of people yesterday, and then Kathy did too, because we've got, all three of us are genealogists, so we're all doing research, and somewhere along the line, you know, our families will overlap a little bit on one surname or another. So we've been working with the information we have in our database with the cemeteries that we've been working in, and it helps us all out because we get everything right in our information. And so we've really been straightening a lot of these people out. I think I had sort of told you in a previous video about the little triplets. We did find out that sorrowfully all 3 of the little girls are there. They didn't live very much past birth. And so we do know that our information will be right, that all 3 of them are there. They said they were all in one grave, but I guess they gave them 2 metal markers. And I don't know why they would have done that, because there was actually 3 girls. Okay, I think this is what she's standing on. I'm not going to ink that up. Oh, goodness. And this is what this one looked like. See, it really turned out good on that one. But I covered it a little bit with that texture paste. And I got a glop of it up there. Oh, all right. Okay, I think she's going to... Yeah, she's supposed to be standing more over on this side. The thing we had to encounter yesterday, and I mean, it was very confusing. Okay, because there's this one lady. She had a son, Ambrose Williamson, by one of her first husbands. And he was a Williamson. So, we get, we get, a 1880, I think she's on an 1880 census. And she's got this boy, no, a 1900, sorry. We get a 1900 census, and she's got this boy with her on one of the 1900 censuses. Well, I found her on 2 censuses, not just 1, but 2. I'm trying to figure out where this bingo card needs to be. And so anyhow, then she was a messer there. And I had found, I thought, a guy, a George Washington Messer. He had died in 1897. Well, in 1900, she's listed as a widow on both of them. Now, on the 2 different 1900s, on one, she is born in Kentucky. On the other one, she's born in Virginia. And then on another one, another aspect was she claims to have had only 2 children and 1 surviving on the one census, and then on the other she had a slew of kids. So it wasn't really adding up, and I really don't know what was going on. We're going to stagger that right there. So we figured that out yesterday. It ended up to be 2 totally different women. I know, go figure. So we have them figured out now. The one lady married the Williamson, and how did that work? Well, the one lady married the Williamson, and then, anyway, it worked. I can't remember how it worked now. It was something. We beat our heads over that all day long yesterday. And that's what'll happen. And all 3 of us were going back and forth about this, about that. We had to look at obituaries for children. We had to look at death certificates for children to see what all they were listing their mother as. Because they kept listing the mother as a messer by birth. Well, we kept thinking, that she was, what was that? A Nelson by birth, because of this one marriage, and ended up being the wrong one. And even like in 1870s, the children were listing their mother as a messer, way before the marriage to the messer guy. So that's what kind of gave us pause. All right. Gave us pause. All right, I think we're done here. And I really would like to thank everybody for coming to visit. And I'm going to show you a little slideshow of what we just done here, and see what we accomplished. Yeah, I really appreciate all my subscribers and viewers. I'm trying to think of what... I think I showed you everything I had done up till now, except for my little Valentines and another goodie or two. This is the cards that we got done with today. They'll become journal cards. And I'll put more people on them and more ephemera. Here's the last one. Oh, it's upside down. Hope I didn't put the lettering on upside down. I may have. Okay. It won't matter. Oh, and we got a bonus card too. So I can put a stamp on there, on that gold one, and come back and do more paint and do the same effect here. Okay, let's see what goodies we got done here. All right, we have the little girl. We got her done first. She's going to school. She's got her class book here, her arithmetic problem under her feet, and she's waiting for that bell to ring. Then we have, I think we got the little kids done next that are going to the dentist. It's still a little, bowy. So you can get in here sometimes and work it yourself, or you can put it in a big book, under a heavy book, something like that to really get the kinks out. All right, then I think we did the sisters, and they're fairy sisters going to the dance, and they got their little ticket, or they got their ticket here, and they got like their, whatever there, and they got the pretty little butterfly friend they're standing on. And I think that was a bus schedule. So maybe the wings don't work so hot, and they're going to take the bus back home. Maybe they can't drink and fly. All right, next. I think I went out of sequence. But here's the married couple who are going on a holiday. They're travelers. They are going to Paris. They're sending postcards to people, and their shipment is their luggage, maybe. And then we got the married lady, and she has her flowers. Oh, she got them all down her shirt, too. This was just to go behind her to do some of the brown. Received, I guess she received all of her guests. We have the florist sign up here with a pretty little butterfly. And we have our last lady going to the bingo. She all decked out to go to bingo. So, there we go. I couldn't find anything really. This little round piece looked like something you might put on your bingo. And then, I don't know. I just came up with these numbers because that's all on your bingo. Oh, well. Thank you. I hope everybody has a great day and enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment if you think about it. I really appreciate you. Bye-bye.